He disappeared 10 years ago today, but his voice never did. It started a week after the funeral. A single text message on my phone, just 3 words, "I miss you." I thought it was a cruel joke, a hacker, anyone but him. How could it be? The police found his car by the cliffside, the doors wide open, the engine cold. No note, no trace. Just the endless gray ocean swallowing the horizon, but the messages kept coming. Every year, on the anniversary of his disappearance. Sometimes it was a memory only we shared. Remember the swings in Miller's Park? You always went higher. Other times it was a question that haunted my waking hours. Did you ever find the key I hid? I'd reply, screaming into the void of my phone screen. Who are you? What do you want? But there was never an answer. Just silence for another 364 days. The police were useless. They traced the numbers, but they all led to dead ends. Burner phones, they said. Probably some sick prankster. They told me to move on, to let go. How could I? It felt like he was still out there, a ghost in the machine, whispering secrets only I could hear. His name was Leo. He was my older brother, my protector. The one who taught me how to ride a bike and how to stand up to bullies. The night he vanished, we had a fight. A stupid, meaningless fight about money. I said things I can never take back. I wish you'd just disappear. Those were the last words I ever spoke to him, and he did. Over the years, the messages became my grim ritual. A part of me dreaded them, but another part, a desperate, lonely part, clung to them. They were proof that he wasn't forgotten, that our bond somehow transcended whatever happened that night. I spent years searching. I hired private investigators, followed dead-end leads, and drove myself to the brink of madness. I showed them the messages. They all said the same thing. It's a hoax. Someone is playing with you. But their eyes held a flicker of doubt. The details in the messages were too specific. The swing set, the hidden key, the nickname he had for me that no one else knew. Starcatcher. Last year's message was different. It wasn't a memory. It was a warning. Don't trust the man with the silver watch. I froze. My new therapist, Dr. Albright, a kind man who had been helping me process my grief, always wore a silver watch. A beautiful vintage timepiece, he said, was a family heirloom. I dismissed it as a coincidence. My mind was playing tricks on me, weaving paranoia from grief. I tried to forget the message. I tried to trust the man who was helping me heal. He encouraged me to talk about Leo, to face the pain. He said closure was the only way forward. But every time I saw that watch glint under the office lights, a cold dread washed over me. Then, a month ago, a new message arrived long before the anniversary. He knows, you know. The key opens the box in my old room. He's coming. My blood ran cold. The key. I hadn't thought about it in years. When we were kids, Leo gave me a small, ornate key, telling me it was for a treasure he'd hidden. I'd long since lost it. Or so I thought. I tore my apartment apart, my heart pounding in my chest. And there it was, tucked away in an old jewelry box. The key. I drove to my parents' house, to the room that had been left untouched for a decade, a shrine to a ghost. Under a loose floorboard beneath his bed, I found it. A small wooden box. My hands trembled as I unlocked it. Inside wasn't a childhood treasure. It was a diary. Leo's diary. The last few entries were frantic, filled with terror. He had gotten involved with the wrong people, a loan shark, a man known for his cruelty and his signature silver watch. Leo had recorded their conversations, hoping to go to the police. He wrote about being followed, about receiving threats. The final entry was dated the day he disappeared. He knows I have the tapes. He told me to meet him at the cliff. I'm scared. If something happens to me, tell my Starcatcher it wasn't her fault. I'm so sorry. Under the diary was a small cassette tape. I suddenly understood everything. The messages weren't from a ghost. They were from someone who knew. Someone who was trying to protect me, to lead me to the truth Leo couldn't tell me himself. But who? And why now? As I sat there on the floor of my brother's room, clutching the diary, my phone buzzed. A new message, an address, an old, abandoned warehouse by the docks. And just 4 words: come alone, find me. Was it a trap? Was it the man with the silver watch luring me in? Or was it the person who had been my secret guardian for a decade? I had to know. I took the diary and the tape, and I drove into the rainy night. The warehouse was a skeleton of rust and shadows. Every creak and groan of the old building echoed like a scream. I called out, "Hello, I'm here." Silence. Then a flicker of light from a back office. I pushed the door open, my heart hammering against my ribs. Sitting at a desk, surrounded by a complex array of computers and old cell phones, was a figure I didn't recognize. A woman. She looked tired, her face illuminated by the glow of the monitors. She looked up, her eyes filled with a profound sadness I recognized all too well. "You came," she said, her voice soft. "Who are you?" I asked, my voice trembling. She pushed a photograph across the desk. It was a picture of her and Leo smiling, their arms around each other. "My name is Clara," she said. "Leo and we were going to run away together. He gave me a second phone before he went to meet that man. He told me if he didn't come back, I had to protect you. For 10 years, she had watched over me. For 10 years, she had sent me Leo's words, his memories, his warnings. She had kept his spirit alive while hunting for evidence against his killer." She pointed to a screen. It was a live feed, Dr. Albright's office. "He's not a therapist," Clara whispered. "He's the loan shark's son. He's been trying to find that tape for 10 years. He knew you were the key." A cold, terrifying realization washed over me. My grief hadn't been a sickness he was healing. It was a map he was reading. He had been using my pain, my memories, to hunt for the evidence that could destroy his family. My phone buzzed one last time. I looked down. It wasn't a message. It was a news alert. Local therapist Dr. Albright found dead. A single cassette tape was discovered beside him. I looked at Clara. Her face was unreadable in the dim light. "He found out I was tracking him," she said, her voice flat. It was him or me. The 10-year-old mystery was solved. But a new, colder one had just begun. I wasn't staring at a stranger. I was staring at a killer. And as I looked at the dozens of burner phones on the desk, I wondered, who was she before she became my brother's ghost? And who had I become now that I knew the truth? The rain beat against the tin roof, and in the silence, I could have sworn I heard my brother's voice, not from a phone, but from the darkness all around us, whispering, "I'm sorry. Thank you for watching." If you or someone you know is struggling, remember that help is available. You can reach out to crisis hotlines or mental health professionals. You are not alone. Please subscribe for more stories.